One morning and your shadow is gone. You search under the bed, behind the door, and in the mirror. Nothing. But at noon, your shadow returns, sitting on your ceiling, speaking in your mother's voice. And it says, "You are finally awake."
You are finally awake.
A door opens in the middle of the ocean. A fish swims through a library. A train emerges from a burning fireplace.
Now tell me, what is this? Madness? Or a hidden order we have never learned to see? Because for the Surrealists, this is not nonsense. This is truth disguised as dream.
And today, we enter a movement that did not just change literature, it tried to break reality itself. Welcome to Surrealism. Surrealism is an avant-garde literary and artistic movement that attempts to merge dream and reality into a higher reality, what the Surrealists called surreality.
The word means beyond realism. But here is the crucial idea. Surrealism is not about fantasy. It is about something deeper, the unconscious mind speaking without permission. Surrealists believe something radical. What we call reality is only the edited version of the mind. Underneath it lies dreams, desires, fears, instincts, and forbidden thoughts.
And literature, they believed, must stop editing the mind. To understand surrealism, we must allow the unconscious to speak freely.
To understand surrealism, we must smell the smoke of history. World War I, trenches, gas, mass death. Europe did not just lose lives, it lost faith in reason itself.
The intellectual question became terrifying. If logic and science produced mass slaughter, then what is wrong with logic? Out of this collapse emerged Dadaism, pure chaos, anti-art, meaninglessness, and the destruction of logic. But surrealism said, destruction is not enough. We must rebuild the mind.
And so Surrealists turned inward, not to society, but to the unconscious. Enter André Breton, the man often called the Pope of Surrealism.
In 1924, Breton publishes the Surrealist Manifesto, and he defines surrealism like a psychological explosion, pure psychic automatism, the absence of reason, morality, or aesthetic control.
Translation: write without thinking, create without censorship. Let the mind speak raw truth. For Breton, the dream is not inferior to reality.
Behind surrealism stands one man, Sigmund Freud. Freud discovered something disturbing. The mind is not one voice. It is a battlefield. The ego controls behavior. It helps us navigate everyday reality and make conscious decisions. Beneath the ego lies the unconscious, a hidden realm where desires, fears, and forbidden thoughts remain concealed.
And dreams become the place where those hidden desires leak into consciousness. Surrealists took Freud's theory and did something radical. They turned therapy into literature.
Dream interpretation became poetry. Free association became narrative. Psychology became art. And Freud's ideas became one of the foundations of surrealism. Surrealists were not just writers. They were revolutionaries of consciousness. They wanted freedom from logic, morality, social rules, literary tradition, and rational control.
Breton dreamed of a world where waking life and dreaming life would merge into one continuous imagination.
Now let us move from theory to literary mechanics. How surrealist literature works. In dreams, people transform, time collapses, and places shift instantly. Surrealist literature borrows this dream logic.
In André Breton's Sajjad, reality slowly dissolves. A woman appears, mysterious, unstable, symbolic. Paris becomes less a city and more a mental landscape.
The second unexpected juxtaposition. Surrealists loved collision. As Lautréamont famously wrote, the chance encounter of a sewing machine and an umbrella on a dissecting table. Why? Because meaning is born in shock. Unexpected combinations force the mind to see differently.
In the poetry of Paul Eluard, reality is constantly transformed. In Eluard's poetry, eyes become oceans, memories become birds, bodies dissolve into landscapes.
Reality is recombined like broken glass forming a new mirror.
The third technique is automatic writing. Breton and Supol demonstrated this technique in their famous work, The Magnetic Fields. They wrote without stopping, without editing, and without consciously thinking. What appears on the page are fragmented sentences, sudden images, and an irrational flow of language. But for surrealists, disorder is not chaos. It is the honesty of the unconscious. Ordinary reality becomes emotionally transformed. In Lorca's poetry, cities cry, moons bleed, skyscrapers scream. This is not description. It is emotional truth disguised as nightmare. Fifth irrational narrative. In the stories of Leonora Carrington, the people become animals, logic disappears, and events shift without warning.
And the reader realizes that meaning is not found in explanation. Meaning is an experience.
Let us clarify this once and for all. Realism, magical realism, and surrealism are not the same thing. In realism, the world is stable, logic governs everything, and literature attempts to imitate everyday life. In magical realism, impossible events occur naturally, and people accept them without surprise. In surrealism, reality itself breaks apart. The unconscious takes control, and logic is suspended. So remember, realism is the world as it is. Magical realism is magic inside the world. Surrealism is the world inside the mind. Surrealism soon spread across the world like a psychological virus. Federico Garcia Lorca explored dream nightmares of modern cities, while Octavio Paz combined myth with the unconscious mind. Kafka created bureaucratic nightmares without explanation, while Samuel Beckett explored absurd existence beyond logic. Even when surrealism disappears as an organized movement, its mind never stops working in literature. Surrealism expands the possibilities of literature, introduces psychology into art, and breaks creative limitations. Yet surrealism can become chaotic, sometimes loses meaning, and may frustrate readers seeking clarity.
But perhaps that is the point. Surrealism does not want to be understood easily. It wants to be experienced. Surrealists believe something extraordinary. Reality is not only what we see when we open our eyes. It is also what we dream when we close them.
Their literature invites us into a hidden world where clocks melt, cities cry, fish fly through libraries, and thoughts speak without permission. And maybe, just maybe, that is why surrealism never dies. Because even after literature ends, the dream continues. If you enjoyed this lecture and found it helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with fellow literature enthusiasts and students.